Hey, can I get my grab some real quick?
Yeah. Yes, we are here with Drah Cenedive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to ask you, as far as what would you consider your mission would be, as far as artist, a poet, a writer, a video editor, a short movie maker, entrepreneur, humanitarian? What do you want the world to see? I mean, who is Drah Cenedive?
Drah Cenedive is a pen name I gave myself. It actually means hard evidence. It's spelled backwards. Birth name Antoine Brown. It was a name change year 2001 from Antoine Brown to Antoine Malik Muhammad. I didn't have a father there, so Islam was the closest thing to a father to me, so I changed my name and gave my last name as Muhammad. And I also I wasn't born with a middle name, so I gave myself a middle name Malik, which means messenger. But to answer your question, as far as the mission, my mission is just probably the same as any other caring humanitarian who wants to help humanity, help our consciousness and help teach the world.
Yes, yes. Now, how many books have you written?
I've written two. My first book was Earth on Fire. It was a very trying book. I started writing that book in '98. At the time, my wife was still pregnant with my firstborn daughter, Maya. And I went through it was like a revelation. Something moved me to write this book, this highly spiritual book that, had all this dynamic information in it. There was, I was bombarded with it constantly, grueling nights trying to sleep, having dreams, nightmares, having visions, hearing things that would, a lot of people would call hysteria or crazy. I didn't think it was crazy. I always felt like it had some merit. So I just kept writing, and I eventually finished it in the end of '99. Actually, it would have been close. Yeah, it was in '99. And then I started trying to get it promoted from there. The second book is Tupac Lives. It's just got finished up as of last week, which would have been February 4th. As far as production, getting ready for production, officially it was finished a month before that. And I just got a call from the press saying that they worked out all the bugs and it's going to production. Should be done next week. Will be February 18th for release. Those are two books I've written.
Okay. What inspires you for your writing ideas and what to write about? Does it just come to you? Do you gotta force it, or how would you describe it?
That's a good question. I mean, a lot of writers would say that. Right now, it's probably Corbet and White Zinfandel, if you will. Select, courtesy of Zine. Some writers go into, like, a lot of artists, some of the writers of old, some of the greats, when you talk about Notre Dame, when you talk about, there's another one, it slips my mind right now. But some of the great writers that, some of them needed something to stimulate. Like Shakespeare was the other one. Shakespeare, he would do a liquid drug called absinthe, and it would open him up. And I've heard about it. Matter of fact, I might try it. That would open him up to the other dimensions, or the other worlds, or new ideas, if you will. Notre Dame, he would do a ritual, and he had this type of narcotic that he would use, It was more like something that you would smoke or something. And he would go through a ritual and do the water, and he would of course do this in privacy because, you know, those type of rituals back then were considered sorcery and witchcraft, and you could get executed for things like that. Another great writer was Niccolo Machiavelli. He had certain rituals he would go through, and he of course used narcotics and barbiturates. I didn't really have to do that. It was usually you know, I was usually sane and sober doing these things I went through. I never really had to go through that, thank God. Hopefully it continues that way, but it's been truly inspiration through the higher power. That's how I got inspired to write these things.
Okay, okay. Now I've read some of Earth on Fire back when you were writing it, and I seen a preview and also a comic book called Constantine, and I couldn't help but see all the similarities. It's as if they stole information. It's as if they read Earth on Fire before. I mean, it was really a trip. I mean, if you could go ahead and speak on that, what you think. I see from what you just showed me that you've read Constantine too. Or what do you think about it?
Constantine, well, it's out of the movie Constantine is, they claim to be based on a comic book series entitled Hellblazer. And, you know, when you look at these different issues, you see Hellblazer, you clearly see it. This is the original John Constantine. He's of British descent. You know, he's a chain smoker. He has this very distinguished scar on his left cheek, and he's blonde hair. I believe he's blue eyes also. And, you know, he encounters different various characters throughout the books, but never really doing anything that you see in the movie, you know, that you're going to see in the movie Constantine. He hadn't came out yet. I've seen the previews and read some reviews, but the preview that I've seen, the commercials including this preview they give you in this comic book, doesn't really follow the traditional Hellblazer stories. It follows more of Earth on Fire than it does that. They've taken a lot out of Earth on Fire, I believe. I submitted it to an agent. I was working with an agent back in the year 2000, trying to get this book promoted, and she gave me a lot of helpful hints and a lot of inspiration as I was writing. Definitely was seeing that there was potential in this work, and we never really got to complete our relationship. You know, we went on. We would talk every day. We had really productive conversations over the phone. We would spend hours on the phone. Sometimes a lot of times it was taken from the family, and it wasn't fair to my family a lot of times. But I was trying to get on. You know, I was trying to get my spot, my big break, as they call it. And things went by, and I think it ended up in her hands, and she eventually sold the story without my permission. That's what I believe. You can draw your own conclusions, but I think I have enough evidence here to show that there's way too many coincidences for this just to be strictly coincidental. You know, from anything from the demons turning from human to demons, their facial features, all the descriptive things that you see in Earth on Fire, you're going to see in the movie Constantine. And like they say always, the book is better than the movie.
And I mean, as far as I know, you're an optimist, but how you feel about that? I mean, how did you take it when you went out and got the magazine just to compare, just to see how much they took from it, or I mean, how do you feel about that? How do you look at that?
You know, it was completely spiritual. Once again, I can't take much credit for this because this is, you know, I have to give credit to where credit's due. This to higher power. I will tell you, when I seen the commercial, it was like I seen a ghost. I looked at it and I was like, what? You know, and I researched, and it seemed like I was almost summoned to Barnes & Noble to find the evidence, and I turned around to buy something else, another book, and there it was sitting in front of me, and it was almost like